up in the game, head up in the game, head up in the game, whoa. In the moment, boy, it's like a dream. Yeah, playing for the prize and we got a team. Yeah, passion in my veins, but we never leaves. So what I got to feel when you run the league? Game time, hey, game time, whoa. Game time, hey, game time, whoa. Head up in the game, head up in it, yeah. Head up in the game, head up in it, yeah. Game time, hey, game time, whoa. Game time, hey. Game time, letting go with hang time.
Hey everyone, my name is Jaden Knox. This is the first episode of Game Time. I have with me my special guest. What's up, Coach Kev?
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
How you feeling today? So I wanted to get into this with you because, you know, I went to Clemente, man, graduated class of 2019. And, you know, being here, it was special, like, and especially being a part of the football team. Like, I want you to know that before we start, y'all the reason that kicked off my sports career. Like, I was doing a lot of music videos and all that, but when I started recording y'all and the run that we went on, like, it was magical, and it, like, opened up a lot of new things that I tried out. So, like, I wanted to say thank you again, man, for letting me be y'all personal cameraman during that time, and especially, like, during that winter season. Wanted to get in, you know, you played semi-pro. How was it playing for a traveling football team?
It was a little challenging because I was still working at the same time. But, I mean, it was, like, fun because it was like I went back to play football. You know, I had already graduated. I already went as far as I thought I wanted to go, and then I went back in my 30s to play. So it was a lot of fun because you got to see different states. You got to meet a lot of different people and just, you know, just the bond, you know, around brotherhood of just playing the game.
What made you put the ball down and start coaching?
Well, age had a little bit to do with it, and my body, you know, after a while started to talk to me. So I always wanted to coach. I just didn't know if I could do it, you know, because coaching and playing is like entirely different. So I wanted to try it out and see if I can, you know, if I could be good at it. So
was Clemente your first choice?
My first choice was school I graduated from was Marshall. And all my brothers went to Marshall. My dad went to Marshall. My sister, practically my whole family. So I always wanted to coach there because my dad was a big football guy. But unfortunately, it wasn't open. And I was already working at Clemente, and then I was like, let me give Clemente a shot and see how it goes.
What about that 18-19 team that made it so special?
What made it so special is, like, I had a lot of seniors. I had like 17 seniors on the team, players, and I had 4 managers with seniors, so it was like 21 seniors. It was something about that team. I felt we had something. You know, when I told the principal before the season even started that we were going to win conference and we were going to go to state.
You was bold with it, so you made that known.
I made that comment to him in the meeting when we talked about football. I said we're going to win conference and go to state. And he said, well, with that team that you have? And I said, yeah. I said, with that team. And that's exactly what we did.
Clemente isn't known for football. It's known for baseball. How was the experience with coaching in the beginning? How did you get the sport to gradually progress to that?
Well, I mean, it started off because everybody was talking about baseball all the time. Nobody said anything about Clemente football. And I just told the boys, don't worry about that. You know, we're all Clemente. It's all a school. Main thing about it is football. We're going to play our game, and we're going to make sure they know who we are. And I said, the only way we're going to know who we are, we're going to leave that on the field.
The 16-17 season, we were 3-4, 5th in the conference. Didn't make it to state or city. How did you take that first season coaching?
I was a little down at first, and you challenge yourself as a coach, and you start saying, "Man, do I really have it to be able to lead these boys to get them there?" And I just, I had a mental thought, and I said, "Wait, I got this." And I got into my inner self, and I went back to the roots of people that I used to play with and other coaches. I have a lot of friends that coach at different high schools, and they all motivated me, and they were just like, just don't worry about it, just fix it and keep going.
The 17-18 season, you guys was 1-5, winning only one game against Roosevelt, 42-12. What was your thought going into the next season?
My thought was going to the next season, for some reason, I was motivated to say, we're going to turn all this around. And I just said to myself, I said, we're not going to stay where we were. Don't worry about that. That was last season. We're going to go forward. And when I told the boys, they was just like damper, like, Coach, bro. I said, I believe in y'all. I said, believe in me. We can get this done. And
so everybody wants to talk about this. The 18-19 season, this is the year now. The seniors that you had since you was freshmen was leaving. What was the expectation for that season?
The expectation, like I said once before, was to win conference, undefeated, and to get to state, because Clemente football hadn't been to state since '93, which was 25 years.
You guys started off rough, losing 3 of your non-conference games. What was the change after those 3 games?
For me, other coaches have their change. It was the Collins game. That was the last non-conference game that we lost. We were right there in the game. We lost at the last minute on a play. And I could just see the team looked kind of sad, but it's like when we got to practice that Monday, they just was all like, Coach, we ain't losing no more games. He said, we can't predict how far we're going to go, but we ain't losing no more games. We're gonna beat everybody in conference.
The conference games start now. You guys went on a run, beating everybody. What was your favorite moment of that year?
My favorite moment probably was the against Bronze Military Academy. And the reason being for me is that we were down 21-0 at halftime. And some of the cheerleaders and their coaches was mocking us. And it was, I don't know why, for what reason they were behind my team while we were playing. And they were mocking us and saying all kind of things about, oh, you guys, look, you're terrible and this and that. And I said, don't worry about it. Just, the game's not over. So we came out. Some of the players had a meeting in the locker room. And they was like, Coach, you mind if we do this amongst ourselves? And I said, no, I go back out on the field.
Hell no, what the fuck they doing to us? We got our ass dog. Everybody, man, everybody got something going on in their family, in their house. That's why we here. Everything. That's why we here. All this shit is y'all saying, bro. There's something wrong with everybody on this fucking team. I don't care what nobody say. There's something wrong with everybody. Everybody on the team got a fucking struggle, and y'all do this shit for a fucking reason. Fuck is y'all playing for? Hit a motherfucker. What the fuck? Y'all got me stopping shit I'm doing. My motherfucking family. I'm stopping this shit just to play for y'all. And y'all over here doing this so bad shit. If I was going through shit, I'm here helping y'all supposed to be my fucking mama right now, boy. What the fuck is y'all problem?
We wound up winning the game 22-21.
I remember this game. I was right there in the mix of it, and I went into the locker room and I was recording this moment. This was one of my favorite moments. I went to school with these guys 4 years, and I never seen these guys cry, ever. I never seen the amount of emotions and the frustration and, like, the passion behind this. And, like, Kenny, Devasier, Izzo, like, all these guys was sitting there, like, crying and just saying shit like, man, like, we got to get this fucking game. And I was, like, intrigued because I'm like, shit, I'm a part of fucking history right now. Like, I was so excited because I'm like, we going to win this fucking game. Like, after I saw what was going on, how was that energy like, I was like, yeah, we going to win this fucking game.
It's the IHSA Football Playoff Pairing Show, presented by Wintrust on NBC Sports Chicago. From our downtown Chicago studios, here is Layla Rahimi.
Genoa Kingston, the home game against Clemente. First time for Clemente. They're celebrating in the school gym tonight.
This is history. The last time, like you just said, we went to state, bro, it was like 1993. So, like, it's been 25 years since. How was it knowing that Clemente was 6-0, hearing that from state?
I just felt that if we was going to get there, we were going to fight and do our best, and represent our school. And not just think about what we did as conference, but now we're in state playoffs. Let's just play hard, win or lose. It's accomplishments just getting there. Some teams don't even get to state. Some teams are still out there right now and don't even know what it is to get to state. And as we were given the ball, I didn't even know we had to use a certain ball just to play in the game that Ms. Diaz gave to us. I said right then and there, at the end of it, that we're gonna sign that ball, and I've kept it to this day.
What was the energy like going into state?
It was motivated. They were a little nervous. They were a little scared because they haven't been there. And then we was playing a big school, Genoa Kingston, who goes to state and gets deep every year. It's one of those varsity blues towns where that's the first time I've ever seen anybody close a McDonald's for a football game. I mean, it was closing. Everything was closed and signs and everything. And we're on the bus riding past, and we're seeing all this Genoa Kingston this, Genoa Kingston that. And we just looking at all these stores is closed going to the game. So we just like game time. I was like, guys, don't worry about it. Just play Clemente football the best way we can. I think they had about 63 players at game time.
That was a big-ass school that we played again.
Yeah, very much, yeah.
We lost in the first round against Kingston, 8-61. How did you feel about that season, though?
I felt good about the season. I mean, I wasn't too happy with the score. I could just see that they really they was just one of those teams that just they was like college bound or even more. But I wasn't sad that we lost. I just was thinking to myself, at least we got there. You know, we played, we at least scored on them. I mean, I didn't think we was going to do that. So we got in the records that we did score on them. So just motivated that we got there and just saying to them that, I appreciate everything all the boys did, how hard they fought, and how they were dedicated in that whole season.
So, Coach, as a coach, how many students do you think play high school football?
I would say the percentage is probably like, I don't know, in the thousands.
So for high school, it's almost a mil. I'm going to just say that, right? How many students do you think make it to the NCAA?
I would say maybe 25, 30%.
I would say it was around 70,000 to 100. Percentage moving from high school to the NCAA, how many kids do you think make it?
15, 20%, I guess.
6%. Percentage moving from NCAA to the pros?
15, 20% the most.
2%. When you think about these numbers, Coach, what comes to your mind when you hear these numbers?
I feel that, as coaches, we got to just work with the kids a lot harder to help them achieve the next level, So if none of them are making it there, we're going to have to just we're going to have to do better.
So let me ask you some questions, right? So in my research, I came across top 4 reasons why kids don't make it into sports. Number 1, unreliable coaches. Have you ever interacted with an unreliable coach?
Yeah, I've dealt with a few of them, and I must say that we had to part ways because I felt like they weren't helping the students and they weren't helping the program.
Number 2, over-aggressive parents.
Dealt with a few of those as well. We had to get someone removed from the stadium. They want to yell at their kids and disrespect them. I turned to them and I said, we're the coaches, let us coach. You trust us with your son, which I've coached some girls too, or your daughter. And at that time, just let us do what we do. Trust us. And we're gonna help the students.
Number 3, unattainable standards.
Well, I mean, the thing of it is that it starts from day one once they get on the field. As coaches, we get them prepared. We want them to be safe. We don't want to see anybody get hurt. So we take our time, and if we have to go the whole practice going over drills and tackling and just to keep our kids from getting all these injuries and everything, which injuries going to come and go. But as coaches, we need to be focused on everything and the positive aspect of the game to keep them solid so they can just move forward and just realize that this is a game and just don't be stressed about it. We're just going to work hard at it.
Number 4, overall lack of training and a positive encouragement environment. When I went to TCU for a visit, they told me that a lot of freshmen drop out because they don't feel welcome. They don't feel like they deserve to be here because people there haven't gave them that, that home welcoming. And did you feel like lack of training and having a positive encouragement environment within your career?
No. I mean, when I played, we had a lot of coaches that actually played themselves. So They had us prepared. We ran our drills. You know, they conditioned us real good. They gave us the attention we needed. They were very positive men. You know, we was lucky to have them.
Do you think making it to the pros is the main goal, or playing the game that you love?
For me, as a person, I mean, I always dreamed of that. But, you know, like I said, sometimes, you know, it's your dream, but it's like you still just say to yourself, like, if it doesn't happen, I'm still a man. I'm still going to be here. To go back and play was kind of like a semi-dream coming true, because it's like I felt like that was it. I'll never be able to play again. And when I went back and played semi-pro for 5 years, it just made me feel good about that. You know, this a dream of mine that finally came true, just to be able to play the game again.
With all your trials and tribulations as a coach and as a former player, are you satisfied with how your career went?
Very much so. I played semi-pro for 5 years. We were on 4 championship teams in 1998, 99, 2002, and 2003. I'm happy with that. And also as well as coaching Clemente football, to see them to win conference and go to state the first time in 25 years. And from my understanding, to be the only African-American coach to actually get them there. So I'm proud of that as well.
What message would you like to tell future athletes?
Stay positive. Football is a great sport. You know, it can be a lot of fun. Don't let it stress you out. But always have a plan B. You know, football doesn't work out. There's a lot of other things you can do. Can't play football forever, but you can play life forever. So just stay positive and just keep going in the direction of what you want to do with your life. And just don't let that sport stop you. It's more things to do.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Coach, man. It was a pleasure to interview you, man. It was a pleasure to meet with you again. Thank y'all again for tuning in to my first episode of Game Time. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all later.
Game time, oh, game time, hey, game time.